Carpenters united will never be divided.
All right.
United will never be divided. The Carpenters united.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good morning, sisters and brothers. And thank you all for being here at the NorCal Carpenter Union's Tax Fraud Days of Action 2025. That's right. I think it's fitting to have the event here at our state capitol where the laws are made to protect working people from criminals in the construction industry. Across the U.S. and Canada today, our sister and brother carpenters are taking a stand to fight against criminal contractors whose business model is to steal money from hardworking people and line their own pockets with their wages. These contractors are cheating on their taxes and workers' comp insurance premiums to steal from that fair contractor who's doing the right thing. Man. And it's all us law-abiding citizens who pick up that tax burden, and that's not right. No. That's right. So these non-union residential construction projects you see around here, a lot of them are crime scenes. And for too long, the punishment for contractors who steal has been a slap on the wrist. But that's the old way. The way we fight these crimes is changing, and this because the civil remedy is not acted as a deterrent. Criminal prosecution will teach these thieves that we mean business. Yeah. That's right. Lock 'em up. I like it. Now, our state attorney general and district attorneys are fighting back. In August, Attorney General Rob Bonta's office charged U.S. Framing West with 31 felony counts. That's right. No good. He charged them with grand theft, tax fraud, kickbacks. That's when you take money. The worker cashes their check, and then they are forced to pay money back to the owner. That's right. And falsifying certified payroll records. In total, U.S. Framing West was assessed with $2.6 million in wages and penalties. And this is the way crimes against working people should be treated. And this is how fair contractors are going to get those jobs in the future. Workers deserve the same consideration as a bank or store that has been robbed. And thanks to the hard work of the Department of Justice, we're making a real change for working people. But there is more work to do, and we won't stop until all these criminals are put in jail where they belong. Yeah. I like it. No, we will not. Now, I'm really excited. We got a lot of speakers here today. I want to get through all of them. They're all committed to stopping these crimes and criminally prosecuting wage theft and workers' comp insurance premium fraud, tax fraud. That's why we're here. And with the help of the NorCal Carpenters Union and our partners, we will win this fight for working people. All right. So I'm really excited to introduce our first speaker. Eric Charlock is the Deputy Commissioner for the Enforcement Branch of the California Department of Insurance. Eric serves as the Deputy Commissioner of Enforcement at the California Department of Insurance, overseeing critical operations dedicated to consumer protection, fraud prevention, and investigative excellence with California's insurance industry. With extensive experience in law enforcement and regulatory management, Eric leads strategic initiatives aimed at combating insurance fraud and protecting the interests of Californians nationwide. Right on. That's it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Matthew, for the introduction. I really appreciate it. And good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored to represent Commissioner Ricardo Lara as we observe Tax Fraud Days of Action, bringing attention to critical issues impacting the construction industry, its workers, and honest businesses across California. And I really want to thank the NorCal Carpenters Union for inviting the California Department of Insurance and me to speak to you for a few minutes today, so thank you. At the Department of Insurance, protecting workers and ethical businesses is a core mission. Unfortunately, the construction industry is often plagued by workers' compensation premium fraud and the exploitation of workers. Dishonest businesses underreport payroll, misclassify employees, or fail to carry workers' compensation insurance altogether. This illegal activity not only puts workers at risk of injury without proper coverage, but also places legitimate employers at an unfair disadvantage, thereby undermining the industry's integrity and driving up costs for all of us. But the harm doesn't stop there. Premium fraud is often linked to wage theft and, alarmingly, human trafficking. Within human trafficking lies labor trafficking, where workers are recruited, harbored, or exploited through forced fraud or coercion. Fraudulent employers take advantage of vulnerable individuals, often paying them under the table or splitting wages between cash and check. This not only robs workers of basic labor protections, such as overtime pay and benefits, but can trap them in exploitative and dangerous conditions with little recourse for justice. So to highlight the gravity of the problem, let me share several real-world cases from the past year or so. A janitorial company allegedly underreported $2.4 million in payroll, which is bad, and they can underbid jobs, but this was only exposed after the tragic death of an employee brought this fraud to us for investigation. And that's the sad part about it. Very sad. In Orange County, employers were charged with schemes that not only underreported payroll, but also endangered employee safety and withheld earned wages. So the common theme here, you have the premium fraud, but you're getting the wage theft, you're getting the danger to the workers. On the flip side of the coin, a former licensed insurance agent was sentenced for stealing workers' compensation premiums from construction companies, putting workers at risk by failing to provide the necessary coverage. And for those businesses out there, I can only recommend to you, I've seen it too many times in my career, if you get your certificate of insurance, call the insurance company, spend the 5 minutes, get your coverage verified, because you don't want to leave your workers unprotected by some bad actors that are out there. And the last example I have is the owners of Golden Foods, which was is a chicken processing business out of El Monte, California, were charged with 43 felony counts of insurance fraud, grand theft, and conspiracy because they underreported $4.5 million in payroll, resulting in $1.7 million in unpaid insurance premiums. But that's not the worst part. That's not the worst part of this case. The California Department of Insurance Fraud Division partnered with the Department of Industrial Relations and uncovered widespread wage theft, including forced clockouts, unpaid overtime, and falsified pay stubs. But thanks to this partnership, Commissioner Lara and the Labor Commissioner were able to return nearly $450,000 in stolen wages to 34 exploited workers, restoring some measure of justice for those that were harmed. These cases underscore why collaborative effort is vital. Through partnerships with regional workers' compensation task forces, the Joint Enforcement Strike Force, and the Labor Enforcement Task Force, we are aggressively pursuing fraudsters and holding them accountable. Additionally, the Department of Insurance Fraud Division is proud of our partnership with the Cal Carpenters Union, which includes educational outreach and the joint investigation of bad actors. Through these partnerships, we're making meaningful progress in identifying and dismantling fraudulent operations that harm workers and ethical businesses alike. But we can't fight this battle alone. You guys, you are industry partners, are critical in identifying and reporting fraud. You guys are on the front line seeing this stuff every day. Be on the lookout for some red flags out there.